You reach for your phone when you're anxious, not because you decided to. Your hand just moves. You open pornography when you're lonely. You buy something when you're sad. You binge watch when you're avoiding a problem. You eat when you're bored. There's a pattern here. Discomfort arrives, and within seconds, sometimes before you even register what you're feeling, pleasure follows. The discomfort disappears temporarily, and you think you're choosing this. You're not. These responses happen automatically, like breathing, like blinking. What if I told you this isn't an accident? In 1932, a writer named Aldous Huxley published a book called Brave New World. In it, he described a future where people wouldn't be controlled through pain, not through violence, not through chains you could see. They would be controlled through pleasure. In his world, there was a drug called Soma, government distributed, freely available, and it did something very simple. It erased all discomfort, instantly. No effort required, no growth, no change, just numbness. And people took it willingly, defended it, could not imagine life without it. Huxley thought he was writing fiction. He wasn't. Soma isn't a drug anymore. It's your feed when you're insecure, it's pornography when you're lonely, it's shopping when you feel empty, it's the show you binge when you're avoiding reality, it's substances when you're in pain, it's food when you're anxious, it's sex when you're disconnected. All of them promise the same thing: escape pain without effort, change, or growth. And you have access to all of it, right now, instantly. So you feel free. But here's what no one tells you. You're living inside the most sophisticated control system ever designed. Not because someone is forcing you, but because you cannot stop. Freedom is the ability to choose. Slavery is compulsion. And if you can't stop, even when it feels good, you're not free. Think about it. When was the last time you felt uncomfortable and didn't immediately reach for something to make it go away? Not because you couldn't, but because you chose to sit in the discomfort and feel it. If you can't remember, that's not a personality trait. That's dependence. You have endless entertainment, infinite choice, instant gratification for every craving. But you cannot not consume. That's the trap. They don't need to lock you in a cell. They just need to give you enough pleasure that you forget to ask why you're not allowed to leave. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how this system works and how this cage was engineered to keep you stuck even without knowing it, and even who profits every time you reach for the drug. But first, you need to understand what's happening inside your brain. Your brain doesn't care about satisfaction. It cares about anticipation. That's the vulnerability. In the 1950s, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner ran an experiment. He gave a rat a lever. Sometimes when the rat pressed it, food came out. Sometimes nothing happened. The rat pressed it obsessively. More than the rats who got food every single time, because unpredictability is more addictive than certainty. Your brain is wired the same way. Every platform you use operates on this exact principle. Sometimes you get likes, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the video is interesting, sometimes it's boring, sometimes the purchase makes you feel better, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the pornography satisfies you, sometimes you feel worse after. The uncertainty keeps you pulling the lever. And here's what makes this brutal. You get what you want, you adapt. It stops feeling special. So you need more. You needed one notification to feel validated. Now you need 10. You needed one video to feel entertained. Now you need the entire playlist. You needed one purchase to feel better. Now your closet is full and you're still empty. Endless cycle, no arrival. Think about the last time you got exactly what you wanted. How long before the satisfaction faded and you needed something else? That's not you being broken. That's your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do, adapt. And eventually, you're not choosing anymore. You're compelled. This isn't about your willpower being weak. Your biology has a vulnerability, and someone found it. Your brain has a back door, and someone left it open on purpose. Platforms don't sell you entertainment. They sell your attention to advertisers. You are not the customer. You're the product. Here's how it works. The longer you stay, the more data they collect. The more data they collect, the more ads they can show you. The more ads they show you, the more money they make. Your compulsion is their business model. The infinite scroll wasn't invented by accident. In 2016, Twitter and Instagram rolled it out. Not to make your experience better, to create a dopamine slot machine in your pocket. Pull down, refresh. Maybe something exciting appears, maybe it doesn't. You keep pulling. Companies are spending billions of dollars right now studying one thing: how to keep you hooked. Not how to make you happy, how to make you come back. And here's what makes this even darker. Modern control doesn't require an external oppressor anymore. The system convinced you to exploit yourself. You say, "I choose this." But you're driven by forces you don't control. You think you're scrolling because you're bored. You're scrolling because someone engineered boredom to feel unbearable. The brutal economics are simple. Distraction is cheaper than opportunity. Pleasure is cheaper than education. Keeping you numb is more profitable than making you conscious. And it's not just platforms. Look around. Governments benefit from distracted citizens, political apathy, spiritual alienation, a population too entertained to question authority, because suffering unites people. Pleasure isolates them. Everyone retreats into their own golden cell, scrolling, watching, consuming, and no one organizes, no one resists, no one fights back. That's why pleasure is the perfect control mechanism. It creates no obvious enemy. You can't fight a system that gives you exactly what you crave. So they're making billions, keeping you numb. But what are you losing while you're medicated? The most pleasure-addicted people are the loneliest. They have infinite access to entertainment, to pornography, to validation from strangers online, but they cannot sit with another human being for 1 hour without reaching for their phone. Real love requires presence, patience, boredom, frustration, conflict, all the things instant gratification has trained you to avoid. Every time you feel discomfort in a relationship and escape into pleasure, scroll through your feed, open pornography, binge a show, you train your brain that human connection is optional. You tell yourself, when people become difficult, I can replace them with something easier. And over time, you do. You stop calling. You stop going deep in conversations. You stop fighting for anyone. Because your brain learned something simple. Humans are high effort, low dopamine. Algorithms are low effort, high dopamine. So you end up surrounded by people, but connected to no one. That's the first thing pleasure stole from you. The second is your capacity for hard things. Same-day delivery, instant streaming, immediate replies, swipe-right hookups. We've eliminated waiting from every domain of life. And when everything is immediate, nothing is valuable. The muscle that's dying is patience. The ability to work towards something for months or years without immediate reward. You can't build anything meaningful on dopamine hits. But you've been trained to need them, so you can't tolerate discomfort, can't delay gratification, can't do hard work that doesn't pay off right away. When was the last time you sat through an awkward silence without filling it? When was the last time you felt sad and just let yourself be sad? If you can't remember, it's because constant stimulation has killed your ability to know yourself. Silence is where self-knowledge forms, and you cannot sit in silence for 5 minutes without reaching for something. If being alone with your thoughts feels unbearable, you're not free. You're dependent, and here's the cruelest part: you'll fight to keep it. In the 1500s, a writer named Etienne de la Boétie discovered something disturbing about power. Tyrants don't rule through force. They rule because people cooperate, because submission becomes habitual. The system doesn't need to force you anymore. You reach for the drug before anyone offers it. Listen to how people talk now. "I'm addicted to this show," said with a smile. "I can't stop scrolling," said like it's charming. "I need my coffee to function," said with pride. You're describing slavery with affection, and when slavery becomes identity, rebellion becomes impossible. You can't escape what you think you are. Nietzsche predicted this over 100 years ago. He described a future where humanity would become comfort-seeking creatures who avoid all challenge. They would claim to have invented happiness, but they'd be spiritually dead. Low frustration tolerance, emotional reactivity, craving immediate reward. Pleasure culture has turned grown adults into children who cannot tolerate discomfort. And children are easy to control. And the system loves this, because distracted people don't ask questions. Distracted citizens don't resist power. They avoid the big questions. Why am I here? What matters? What's actually happening? Constant shallow input destroys the capacity for deep thinking. You're mentally eating fast food every single day and wondering why you can't think clearly. Here's the insider truth. They don't need to oppress you. They just need to keep you comfortable, entertained, medicated, passive. Give you Soma in 1,000 forms and let you call it freedom. But here's what they don't tell you. Not all pleasure enslaves. There are two kinds of pleasure. One, pleasure that enslaves, passive. You receive it. Scrolling, watching, eating without hunger, buying things you don't need, consuming pornography. It's addictive, compulsive, isolating, numbing. And after, you feel tired, guilty, numb, wanting more. It makes you asleep. 2. Pleasure that liberates, active. You generate it, creating something, building something, learning a skill. Deep conversation, nature, sex with presence and connection. It requires effort, presence, vulnerability. And after, you feel energized, proud, present, satisfied. It makes you alive. The test is simple. How do you feel after? After passive pleasure, you feel empty. After active pleasure, you feel full. You can spend your entire life consuming passive pleasure and die empty. Or you can choose active pleasure and die full. Now notice something. Who consumes more pleasure? The poor. More junk food, more television, more scrolling, more lottery tickets. Who consumes less? The rich. They fast, meditate, read, go on silent retreats. Why? When you have nothing, pleasure is an escape. When you have everything, pleasure is a distraction from what you actually want. Meaning. The brutal truth is this: the poor are kept poor partly because they're sold pleasure as a substitute for power. Can't afford therapy? Here's a drink. Can't afford to quit your job? Here's a show. Can't afford to take risks? Here's a video game where you're the hero. The wealthy understand something the poor don't. Pleasure is abundant. Time is scarce. So they guard their time and treat pleasure like junk food. Occasionally, not constantly, the poor guard their pleasure and waste their time. What kind of pleasure did you choose today? The choice has always been yours. But now you see what's at stake. You've been living inside Huxley's nightmare. Soma is real. It's in your pocket, in your feed, in your fridge, in your bed. And the system that profits from your compulsion doesn't want you to wake up. Distracted people don't question authority. Passive people don't organize. Medicated people don't resist. You thought you were free because you had access to everything. But freedom isn't measured by how many options you have. It's measured by your ability to choose none of them. A slave with 1,000 chains is still a slave. At this point, most people will have clicked away when this got uncomfortable. You didn't. So now you have a choice. You can go back to the feed, back to the show, back to the scroll, back to the numbness. Or you can sit in the discomfort, build something, connect with someone. Choose the hard pleasure over the easy one. The system will keep offering you Soma. But now you know what it costs. If this made you see something you didn't want to see but needed to see, support it. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. This space is for people who choose consciousness over comfort, depth over distraction, the hard truth over the easy lie. Soma tastes sweet, but you're still in a cage.